All right. With that, should be live. And unfortunately, for any who were excited about the way that that previous Norway game was going, we've had to restart, tragically, because of some surprisingly jank nuance on how the game handles the laws for heir inheritance and religious inheritance and then the slave conversion. So we had locked ourselves into a situation where we had a forever dynasty that was basically never going to be disinherited because it only had just tons of male heirs, and they were Christian, and we were locked into any religion, but and because we had any religion, we couldn't change to enforce slave conversion. And the problem with not being able to enforce slave conversion is that we're playing as Norway, which means that uh, our entire country, there's at game start 500k Norwegians, and as soon as we started fighting actual wars against people like Sweden, we started stealing a lot of pops that were wrong religion, wrong culture, and that unhappiness from those pops was just getting out of control. As a result, we've had to, as much as I hate it, have to restart it. But we will be doing the same thing. Oh no, we'll lose the effects of enacted Placitum Regium. No, but crown power and religious influence. Yeah. Norse paganism is the way. It only costs 20 stab. Oh no, the 50. I thought it said only 20. Ooh. But we are Norse pagan, and this will, yep, getting us started right away. This means we still, unfortunately, even though it's crucial to religiously convert pops, we kind of need to strengthen the government, which, oh, I already put that one on. Yeah, we need to stabilize the country and strengthen the government. Very crucial we stabilize, because even though, yeah, we need to do both these things. It costs a lot to increase legitimacy, and we need that stability to try and save our pops from the Black Death. So, this is going to be a little annoying. I'll put it to normal. But, such is the way of things. And we're actually making a lot of money from selling food right now. Huh. Didn't remember that from last time. We'll have to lean into that more. Where possible. Replace generals, replace admirals, and just unpause. It's not crucial we get started with anything right away. Though there are things I like to build. Open and close buildings, let that be automated, because there's a lot of buildings that are going to become unprofitable. Game start. Yeah, we don't have profitable weaponsmiths, for example, because the peasants don't have a demand. Rival all these dudes. Maybe we'll steal some pops along the way. Guilds. I like peasant connections a lot cheaper. Food purchasing. Oh. We'll just take those three for the moment. We also, yeah, we've got precious metal distribution, which we will go to export ban. But we also, yeah, Scotland quite revelry. But despite that, we actually, yeah, we want autocracy. Loyalty of subjects in the feudal nobility thing might be useful later, but oh my goodness, you found your way back here so quick, even though it's the next day. Welcome back, John. Well, what's going on is the game has been started again, and I am taking a little bit of different steps than I did previously. I'm spying on Denmark, I guess, but I'm not. Oh, I'm spying on Denmark, but and Sweden, but I realize I'm not actually going to attack Sweden right away. This time around, what I'm going to be focusing on, share maps. Yeah. Why can't I ask you to share your maps with me, Greenland? I might still do that jank strategy I was mentioning, where I could potentially release Greenland and then attack them back. But one thing I'm definitely going to do is enforce religion on Orkney, because, well, can't enforce religion on Iceland and such, but we'll do what we can. Now, last time I accidentally started trending towards centralization, which, you know, for some people it's a good thing, but here, realistically, we're going to get a lot of vassals, so we need to keep those vassals loyal. Should build a sergeantry and wharf. Alright, so here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. You can build the sergeantry and wharf, yeah, and start... Ooh. Damn, no, these aren't admin tasks. Sucks. It's so good, half-dan. But... So, I could build a sergeantry and wharf, yeah. Problem with that is that... Okay, well, is it cheap at least? Okay, it is really cheap. It's hard to dispute building that. I care a lot in this sort of game about scaling economically. And this doesn't really... You know, this isn't really helping with that. Though it does increase the demand for weaponry, so, you know, it will make some of my buildings more profitable. Whatever. I don't... you want me to do it? I'll do it. And the wharf wouldn't be a bad investment either, because getting those initial sailors... Those initial sailors started up. You know, one sailor... The trade capacity and harbor cap are negligible, of course, but... well, actually, no. We don't add 100% harbor cap, so... Everything does add up. We are losing money. Oh, yeah, that's right, we're losing money because I'm cranking up legitimacy. That'll be fine soon enough. Tax efficiency, because crown power is bad. Yeah. Yikes. I would love to give out some privileges, but I really just can't be doing that right now. Should give that one island. I guess. I'm not exactly going to be making use of the 200 pop Norn culture island that produces fish. Seed location. Torshavn. There we go. And for them it'll be only integrated. Well, I'm sure it'll tick over and the next month and become a core for them. With policies available. Yeah. Polygamy. The Gallo Glass. What? What? I've never seen that. What? A flotilla of Norse-scale galleys led by Captain Fergus MacMoy Ossa has sailed into the port of Nidaros. Well, okay, well, it's in Nidaros, that's a shame. Fergus claims that his clan has been dispossessed of their homelands, and that his warriors stand ready to serve the Kingdom of Norway as loyal subjects if we allow them to settle. So let them stay, and you grab a bunch of island nobles, again, and peasants, and it builds a Gallo-glass sept, which is really funny. Because that theoretically means that when raising levies from Nidaros, there'd be like one dude that would be a Gallo-glass unit. And I've never seen this event before. I've never knew this is a thing. I need to take a screenshot of this. Because I need to, if I start adding custom units to my mod, to my own total conversion mod, I need to make sure that I apply something like this, because this is really cool. Will you eventually build the wharf? Yes, I'll build the wharf after I build the sergeantry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to just save the cash that I've got because I'm not making too much of a profit right now. I'm trying to save that cash, so I'm only building things in Oslo at the moment. How profitable is that wheat? God, it's just so. I want to build that so badly. What's the cost of this? There's no cost for letting them stay. You just get these guys. Well, Fergus, welcome to the government of Norway. And there it is, a Galoglass Sept. Weird. So, theoretically that means... What province is that? Sortrondelag. Nah. No Galoglass units? This is very sad. Ennoble him and give him a wife. but ennobling him costs nothing actually. Oh. Just a little bit of nobility satisfaction. Okay. He can be a noble of Nidaros. Huh. Well, doesn't look I'll be able to... Huh, can't do a royal marriage. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe because there's something jank with the fact that I just ennobled him, he can't do royal marriages or something? I don't know. It's a little frustrating regardless. But... Whoops. Sorry, I put my phone right next to the... next to my microphone, so getting a text it blares. Alright, but here's the key thing. Forced slave conversion. Get that down now. For the actual ability to employ slaves and convert them. So they'll be more grumpy, sure, but in the long run, we'll actually be employing. We'll actually turn the ones that. We'll be turning the ones that aren't employed into, actually just normal pops, which will be a lot more useful. Alright, Oslo finished that. Wharf is a labor building, actually, isn't it? No, it is a burger building. I always get that mixed up. Unfortunately, masonry is becoming more expensive, though. So I think we need to prioritize building a mason in Tonsberg, because they get the production efficiency on it. Still losing why does it become... Whoa! Oh, wow. Get rid of the... Get rid of the Diplo spending. It's getting a little prohibitively expensive to import food as it happens during the winter, unsurprisingly. How do you increase your rank? As in, become an empire from a kingdom? You need a ton of pops. You need to, well, yeah, usually just have a ton of pops. But yeah, I need to be a great power. I need to have, well, 7.5 million of the primary religion. Huh. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean, the prestige is tough, but this isn't as bad as I thought. population greater than 5 million from primary or accepted cultures. That's rough, but the primary religion is feasible, I guess. The number near your ruler in the top left side of the screen? That's just the great power score. There's a lot of little things that affect this. Yeah, everything from embracing institutions, having good legitimacy and prestige, have not being in negative stability like I am, actually making money. Yeah. Just doing well. The point is just make your country good. Kill before country. Listen, I just gave you I gave you nobility, and now you're costing me stability to keep you around? This is unacceptable. Listen, the more stability you cost me, the longer it is before I'm able to make our Lord and Savior Odin. Oh my god, my liturgical language is Latin. But in a second, I should theoretically not have to be spending so much money on legitimacy, at least. And that should help a lot. I don't actually have any benefit I get out of spying on those two. That's costing me on my Diplo. Catholic zealots are rising up a lot faster than they did last time. Alright, now I'm making money again because I'm actually at the cap. So it's time to start converting people. Time to fix acres. But sorry, trying to log. Still, yeah. Very sad. Instead, it's just giving me one footman from the Galloglass Sept. Weird. Baliol's gonna win. Oh my goodness. I never see this. I can't even, when I'm playing as Baliol, win. Sheesh. Oh yeah, this is what I need to actually be doing with my diplomats. Making Greenland and Iceland actually like me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to face a Catholic zealot revolt. I don't know what's happened this time that didn't happen in the last attempt, but things are different. And yeah, there's gonna be a revolt. But Baliol being on the cusp of winning the Civil War is pretty hilarious. Increase ties to neighbors. Ask for law change. And we desperately need... Where... Same religion's fine. We don't need the union with Sweden. If anything, we want it to end. Oh no! I just realized I forgot to convert Magnus to Norwegian culture. Well, I'll get his heir, whatever, Eric Bjalbo. Hopefully, if he survives. But we need to change the distribution of power because we have a crippling lack of crown power. And as much as sometimes, yes, the maximum tax and such for the peasantry is nice, we really, really need the crown power. Most of our money comes from trade anyway. Nobility makes good points, sure. Oh, that's right. There's a really shitty stockade up here that's employing the whole population. Let's get rid of that. What year is it and we're still using stockades? Ah. what is the thing that's in Latin? The liturgical language? You don't know what the liturgical language does?
I only have a vague idea either.
Official language of the country uses for their religion. Some religions like Catholicism. I think it helps with like research, but other religions allow country to change it. The language power of the liturgical language of a country impacts the speed of how quickly they research new advances. Eventually, I'm probably gonna. But there's a very good chance that I'll want to change the court language as well, because I think court language has like having a powerful court language is important too. Nobility prefers a high language power. The clergy prefers the liturgical language, and the commoners prefer the common language. Using the market language of our capital will increase trade efficiency. The court language receives an increase to its language power based on the total political power belonging to the primary culture of the country. You, German, Denmark. Oh, do they wait. Yeah, Denmark's court language is German. Wow. Now, I'm very seriously going to consider long-term swapping my court language to be Latin, because Latin is a very powerful language. Scandinavian has only 2.25 power. Latin, on the other hand, has 46 power, because there's a ton of pops, that being all the Catholic clerics. Switch it to Icelandic. Of course. Minus 27 stability. What have I done? What have I done? I've doomed everything. And until Magnus dies, I'm not gonna get any crown characters. So, it's gonna be kind of rough. Will you please keep your girl language Norwegian? Okay. Okay, will do. Make it Norse Gale or something. What? Is it Norse Gale? Gaelic Scottish. So they just have the Scottish language, okay. Oh my. Okay, that's all Sami, never mind. Like, it said that there was going to be a bunch of Norse Gale pops moving to Nidaros, but that was a lie. Now, what wasn't a lie is all the Mandinka pops. Oh my god, there's still, just like last time, there's so many Mandinka and such moving in. But, demography-wise, slaves. Yeah, they're converting. It's not especially fast, but they're converting. And having the same having the same religion is helping, making them not despise me as much as well. Did Scotland win a civil war? No, I think. Oh, they chose to. This is so sad. We got David Bruce, David Bruce, and because he converted to Highland culture, and then they also chose Highland for their primary culture too. Scotland's a game I really want to play sometime as well. I would love, actually, Norse Gale Scotland would be hilarious. Because you could theoretically also form the North Sea Empire as them. So I don't think their flag is changed based on their heritage, but the name changed. They become Alba. And they could also potentially, if they end up, because they'll get an event where they can get the cultural. Okay, well they're losing the Civil War, but the point is, if they survive, they get the option to become to get the government reform Celtic traditions. And if you have, okay, that's an Earl. Wow, yeah. If you have Celtic traditions and you're a kingdom tier country, then you become a high kingdom. So then they'd become the high kingdom of Alba. So you can really Celt max. Damn, as much as I would like to get a wharf every winter, the fact that every winter I'm oh well, it is cheaper now, I guess, but every winter having to pay all this cash. Not a fan of having to pay all this cash every winter. And I very much want to, and will be after this, following through on Threat and Baliol. Jeez. I will be, once I have the cash again post-winter, I will start cranking up the amount of food. I want to max out the wheat RGO in the capital, and then start spreading it out from there. Rye, Norse Gale is okay. It's the best in the culture in EU5 from like a funny meme. Haha, it's so hilarious. But it's not actually the best in the game from like a actual number crunching standpoint. From a number crunching standpoint, oh, every time I say Magnus Magzir's Bergstrom. Yeah, so Norse Gale is coincidentally Mags, and okay, yeah. Looks like the Civil War ended. Yeah, Baliol won the Civil War, but something Mags and I discovered about the way that cultures work explains how Norse Gale isn't actually just the best culture because it has all these heritages. Because whenever the game is calculating how much cultures like each other and like how easy it is to tolerate them, it actually depends on how much you have in common. So Norse Gale, it has so many different culture groups, which means that they can make a ton of cultures easier to accept, but none of them are easy. It's like because if you, for example, are playing in West Africa, and everyone around you is just West African culture group, they all will then have a minus 30% cost to accept or tolerate them because of shared culture groups. However, Norse Gale has 5 different culture groups, which means that if they go to okay, Norse Gale has Celtic, Scottish, British, and Scandinavian. The Irish, okay, well, Anglo-Irish, for example, they don't share Hibernian, they only share British. And because of that, they'll only get like a 5% discount. This tiny 7% discount on the cost of accepting them. Same when you go to Scots, that's only 2 of the 5 different culture groups. Scottish and British, those are the only 2. Same, and with Highland culture, it's a little better then, because yeah, that's 3 of the 5. So then that'd actually be pretty good. That'd be like 20% discount. But yeah, that's why it's not perfect by any means. Now, how much of the country is slaves already? 3%. 3% of the country is slaves already. Well, at least in these shitty backwater parts of the country, it's easier to convert the religion to Norse because there's no pops here to begin with. Take some prestige, sure. Any cultures want to accept or tolerate? I could. I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna get a lot of Mandinka pops, so it might be worthwhile to tolerate them a bit. That'll make them a little less upset. I don't know why it costs so. Oh, I guess it costs so much because there's just no. Yeah, we got no opinion. There's nothing we share in common, and no languages, and they don't have a positive opinion either. So, same with also not having the same common like culture or. More pops than Norwegian globally. Oh, that's interesting because there is actually an absolute load of yeah, Mandinka pops elsewhere in the world. Also, it looks like I did that perfectly. I picked 3 research. The third research gets finished automatically because as soon as we get to Age of Renaissance, it becomes cheaper to take Age of Traditions tech. Cost of purchasing food will be very helpful. Still better than Albania. Yeah, well, Albania is trash. No, I think that Norse Gael is actually a good culture. Especially for the fact that it has a bunch of unique levies and stuff for the first couple ages. Unfortunately, all those unique levies and stuff just disappears after. Well, actually, no, there is a unique levy in the age of like absolutism. Yeah, age of absolutism. There's a unique levy for the for Highland culture specifically, which is very funny. Um, but basically, after the age, yeah, as soon as the age of colonization starts, everyone just uses matchlock levies, and there's no uniqueness in them anymore. So that's something I really want to hone in on that when it comes to making the Kiango mod. But now, as for what we are going to be doing here, as much it's always so tempting to take diplomacy because of marches, but not gonna, because I just love them so much. I love marches so much, but it's just not worth it for me. Because I really am gonna long term need this proximity. I'm gonna need every little bit of proximity I can get as Norway when it comes to. I need this wharf, and then with this wharf, I'll be able to start building navy and projecting proximity across the coastline. Deus Volt is better. See, here's the thing. Deus Volt unlocks Religious War CB. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Make CB Religious War? What? Wait. Oh no, they got rid of that. Damn, never mind. I'm just blowing hot air. Or expansion of Sokoto? What? The fuck do you make Sokoto? I have a feeling. I assume that's a house, a Muslim country, but for the longest time, you didn't need Deus Vult to get a holy war. There was a holy war CB that was different than religious war, but it was worse. It was like a 70% cost religious war, but you could still do one. But that didn't really matter because the point is you could still get a religious war CB of some sort. This is very good in that case. Yeah. And in my context, no one's going to share my religion, and as a result, that will be very, very good. Very good. And of course, I am just a sucker for stab investment. The proximity cost. Mercenaries, I could go for or against. The interest rates, amazing, of course. The expected cost of courts, really nice. Empiricism for legislative efficiency, really nice. And thirst for knowledge, also really nice. So, and the French are in England. You are right. You are right. They are. But, as if I'm playing EU4, we're gonna start off the next age by rushing for Miltech. Actually, it's almost tempting to rush for the Med Galley instead, but yeah. Yeah, I've got lots of things I want to research. I really want to get the peasant levy as fast as I can, but I also want to get the Mediterranean galley because that will be very handy for, well, okay, that's point 12. Point 12. Yeah, that is more maritime presence. Costs double the ducats in maintenance, though. Oh. In which case, yeah, the traditional galley's like a lot less maintenance as well. I actually never mind. I'm not rich enough to want that galley. What the? I I ain't rich enough to want the Mediterranean galley for a while. Actually, hold on. Wait, why'd I get the notification for my heir? Okay, that typically means he's in my court, so I'm a little surprised to see it. Outdated texts. Oh, fine. Let's step back. Wish you could make your own heresy. Too bad you can't force religion on countries you go to war with. Yeah, it is a little strange. It is a little strange that you can't do that. God, my army is going to be so trash until I eventually fix my, everything. Yeesh. Another problem is I need to be able to tax the commoners more. I think, so one thing we're going to do, we're going to give out common militias. That will increase the commoners' opinion of me. It'll cost money to get the legitimacy back, but the commoners will like me more, and I'll be able to tax them more as a result, and it will start making the weaponsmith in Oslo actually profitable, because there will be a demand for weaponry that's greater. I mean, you know, but there's already a weaponry demand for the sergeantry and the castle, but this will make it even better. The liturgical language. Okay, how much would this cost? Yeah, I could make it Icelandic. 20 stab. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I really need my stability to be up. I need to spend a lot of effort trying to fix my stability right now. Because the stability being this negative is making the estates all less happy with me, which is causing me to be able to tax them less. And because I can tax them less, I'm getting less money, which means that I can't start scaling up my economy as soon as I'd like. The alternative is that I am still able to scale up my economy a little bit through the fact that I can, I'm still able to get slaves that will start working stuff and increase the quantity of goods in my market. Crown power is going to be, or the legitimacy will be fixed in a second. Yes. Alright. Well, I say that. I also really want to give out pasture access. Because giving out pasture access will mean that it's even cheaper to build farms. So that's going to suck again. It's going to cost money to increase legitimacy. But I really value the fact that that privilege, even though it costs very little, you know, it's not really taking anything away from my crown power, because, you know, the tribes have no influence anyway. That privilege will make it even cheaper to expand the RGOs, because already lumber's super cheap in Norway, but the pasture access makes it even cheaper, which means, oh no, England declared me a rival. I don't like that. Well, Baliol has a truce with France because well, they beat France technically in that war because France is technically involved in the Scottish Civil War, even though they don't do anything. Not entirely sure what an account for everything on the internet. I don't entirely know what you're referring to in particular with that, but it is annoying, sure. They need to make accounts for stuff. Never really need tar. Need food more though. Constantinople started professional armies. Oh my goodness, that's a surprise. Unfortunately, it wasn't me. Maybe you need to have an actual like regiment recruited. No, when you play Biz, you can't get anything. That's only when the AI plays them. We do not deserve anything when we play as them. Starting to see, you know, maybe it was a good thing in previous playthroughs of Norway that I didn't start building a dock. Maybe I had the right idea. Because in those other attempts at Norway, I didn't have to start paying, like, oh my god, I'm paying a whole 0.4. No, I'm closing that shit now. I'm not paying the maintenance on that building right now. Though the manpower stays, interestingly. That's not bad, actually. But, there we go. Can start expanding the RGO finally. Because this food situation needs to be fixed. That is priority number 1. Build up the food around Akershus. Appease the states, that's actually going to be, yeah. We'll definitely appease the estates, get even more money. It's the historical source. Do you happen to have it on historical? I have it on dynamic. I have dynamic institutions. Turn a blind eye. I mean, getting development in Nidaros is nice. I'll take that. The cost is bad, but... They really want Fergus gone. Either they really want Fergus gone, or Fergus is just actually a... He's actually just a problem. He's some evil entity that's infiltrated the nation. So the question is, how fast are peasants gonna... Okay, peasants instantly employed. Oh, because there was already a surplus of laborers. Yeah, so peasants are going to employ to fill up this wheat faster than... No, there's a couple slaves! What are they? The Norwegian. Huh? Demography. Slaves. House of Ori slaves in Oslo. House of Norse slaves in Oslo. Ooh. Slaves were liberated from slavery. Ooh, interesting. Yes, this is good, because I want the pops, but I don't want them causing a fuss long term. Support a noble cabinet. Johan af Surmanhattan. This is the guy that ended up running the country last time.
law change from feudal administration. I would change it, if I was going to change it, I would change it to autonomous councils, because central council makes you centralized. I would consider itinerant court. Court of culture. To start actually getting cultural influence up of... Nah. Decays? Why is it decaying? Common language is the court language. Yeah, that is good. Probably hate him because he's Catholic.
Yeah, hate him. He's a Catholic. Yeah.
I'd consider changing peasant levies to noble levies. That is something I'm considering doing. Because having my levies be 20% stronger and having more noble units does sound appealing. But at the same time... Oh no, civil... I'm not actually... Like, it's not like I'm at the max tax for the peasants, so... Censorship. Clergy's already pissed enough. Oh, well, no censorship would make us have more tolerance of them, so... And innovativeness. Lessen noble levy obligations. Grr. And then support of communal values. Capital economy. Antagonism. Let's take some antagonism. And there we go. We actually get to finish it anyway. Naval hubris. Naval tradition decay. Yeah, I'll take that. It's fine. It's fine. And there. Yeah. Back to conversion. Now that legitimacy is back up. We're starting to get there in Oslo. It's not enough, but we're getting there. 167 Sunni pops now. Trying to vassalize Scotland again? I'll consider it. I do like the idea of vassalizing Scotland, because having Scotland as a vassal means that oh wow, Lancaster's independent. Shit. Bourbon is independent too. Jesus Christ. Oh, because Bourbon vassalized to England, I think. Anyway, the 100 Years' War gets so whack these days, and I love it. And Brabant has a coalition against them. Fair enough. Lore accurate. Lore accurate when playing with rye pie. And anti-Brabant coalition. But yeah, having Scotland as a subject would be very nice, because that would be a good... It would be a good staging point to make moves into England. And to create the North Sea Empire of dreams. The most beauteous destiny. Exports to locations with professional armies. Tiny little progress. Apparently Magnus the False has been outed as a... What? He's been outed as a bastard? Jeez. Love just clicking on Sweden or myself and seeing King Magnus the Fourth, the False of Diablo. Makes a lot of sense, yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. He's probably an inbred bastard not looking at the guy. Relations, good. Yeah. So theoretically, this will be helping a ton with the food problem, because we're about to get to the point where Oslo is in fact food positive. Can even build irrigation and farming villages in Eidsvoll. Though the actual output good's not valuable because clay is in a lot of demand. We don't have clay RGOs in Norway, so would need to start making in some of these adjacent locations some clay pits and such. Already at 0 prestige, so just lose that. Even though we haven't finished employing the wheat yet, we'll start upgrading it anyway. Huh. We have 0%. That's interesting. Yeah, 0% slaves, because the slaves, the house of slaves we got here, ended up getting converted to Norse and then becoming peasants, and then they just they're just still working the same building anyway. This is the ideal outcome. All right, the missionaries. Sweden is sending missionaries to Norway. This is also lore accurate. Oh my goodness. I would definitely like to start building a galley soon. The galley is 0.08. I'm so glad they added the showing the maritime presence number on the stats for the units. And next month start production of a traditional galley. No? Lied. There. Build a traditional galley. We'll actually start getting some maritime presence up. You able to activate the sergeantry yet? See, I could, but also it's so expensive. What am I activating it for? Is the thing. What am I wanting this manpower for? To build professional units and then attack Scotland with them? Scotland's got a lot more professional boats than me. Robert Stewart. What the fuck? Is that an event that causes the Stuarts to get in charge if Balliol wins? Because Balliol won historically. Huh. That might be a thing. That the Stuarts take charge if Balliol wins somehow. Or have a chance to. And then that's the historical outcome. If so, that's really cool. But yeah, I don't see the urgency of activating the sergeantry. If you have a reason, then feel free to share. Just wondering. Yeah, okay. So the reasoning behind not activating it, and the reason that I kind of wish that I had stuck to my normal strategy of not building it immediately, is because, though I do like the wharf, I respect the wharf choice. The thing with the sergeantry is that it's so expensive, because like the wharf is really cheap, but like the long-term like things it provides, that harbor capacity, and the sailor, which allows me to build this galley, which is going to start helping more and more with the proximity being spread across the bay. That's all very important stuff. However, sergeantry, I'm not going to war anytime soon. Realistically, I'm not fighting Sweden. Now, I could theoretically beat them if I actually had professional troops. Theoretically. Big theoretically on that. But that is not worth the effort. it would take a lot of yeah, it would kill a lot of pops, and it would, well, I mean, I'd capture slaves, but I'd spend a lot of money that I could have spent on just developing up my country until I'm in a comfortable position. And also, in this particular run, I don't plan on attacking Sweden until Magnus is dead and the Union has ended, because then I will have the Bialbos on my throne, and the Union will be over, and then I can attack them normally. Now, something I'd like to do theoretically is try and get that CB for claim seniority beforehand, because before the Union ends, because if I can just have that CB, I'm very curious to see whether I could use it or not, you know? Would it still let me use the seniority CB that I generated before the Union ends? Right. But next thing we want to expand is to start developing the Kongsberg mine, I think. Food, now that food is in a better state. Want to get that silver up, help increase trade income, and that will help long term with enabling some that will help enabling the jewelry industry to be better. Now, something else I'd consider doing is, yeah, that's livestock. I don't necessarily want to get rid of that. I might consider building, once I get good market access out west, is building an urban settlement someplace in the Buskerud area as well, because that could have some very production efficient jewel smiths. Eventually build more port cities? Well, the next step would be Tonsberg, building a wharf there, and I definitely am interested in that because, well, Tonsberg has a really shitty harbor capacity right now, and I kind of need that to get up. Oh, geez. And the harbor isn't even in the fjord. Eh. Getting a harbor in Tonsberg would help with my passive generation of maritime presence in Skagerrak a lot. So, how much would it be here to build a wharf? 35. It's not bad. I'll very much have to consider that, because long term, the more maritime presence I get, and the more harbor capacity I get in these locations, the sooner I'll be able to spread out my control across the sea. Political crisis. Just lose the prestige. Already converted, yeah, the majority of Akershus to Norse. Oh god, and the Black Death is here. And this time around, I do not have the stability nor the burger happiness to isolate the cities. So this time we're gonna lose a lot more pops than did last time. So all we can really do is segregate the infected and present some scapegoats. I can't, like moving the court into hiding isn't even relevant either, because, yeah, the fate of the court is in Sweden's hands. There's a chance that Magnus just dies now. Hopefully you get a free urbanization from Parliament. I definitely like those, but I'm not but I don't think that they're perfect, because the problem with those is that you don't get to decide where they are, and it's not always good to just urbanize whatever it randomly decides it wants to urbanize, if that makes any sense. They're building a wharf there.
Yeah. Hopefully Magnus fucking dies.
Yeah. This useless creature. He's got no administrative skills, no time management. He gets no bitches. Actually, he does have. He's got one. He has Blanche de Dampierre. Well, spread rumors against the Swedes. Yes. We have a total of 59 Swedes. So yes. Spread rumors against them for extra stability, please. Yeah. Majority social class. Yeah, and there's a lot less places now where the majority social class is slaves. Because every time, it keeps, every month more and more, it's like, yep, slaves are liberated. Every month, because every month more and more of them convert to Norse. And then they start to become assimilated into Norwegian. House of Norse slaves. Johan died this time. Wow. Funny. Lord of mercy on us. Very, very different from last time where Johan ended up ruling the country. Orkney keeps wanting to follow through on threat against Scotland. But I can't do that. They would eat me for lunch. Alright, let's see how bad the Black Death gets. Refugees at the gates. Turn away the refugees. Nope. Yeah, I doubt there's a dev Easter egg character. There were Easter egg characters in CK3, of course, but there's just a lot less of that stuff in general. In EU5, I figure. Alright, fine. Sweden. Whatever. Yeah, we'll establish seniority. Yeah, whatever you want. Fergus is at it again. He hasn't had any kids either. We won't let him. Huh. Oh well. There's more legitimacy. Fergus is at it again, trying to develop his home city more. Did development go down? I don't know. Yo, exactly. Yeah, it's been a while. How's it going? How is the Lawler? Everyone is fucking dying. They're all dying. At least it's finally left Oslo. Yeah, Oslo now has a amazing 14,000 pops. Hey, at least this makes it easier to convert the religion of Akershus because everyone's dead. all those slave pops are converting too. So all these places that in previous, yeah, it's now just Norse paganism and Yama. It's not even Catholic that's up for debate. Oh my goodness, Norse has spread a lot in some of these shitty places that everyone's dying in. Oh my god. How are your people yeah, the people ain't doing so hot. Lost 115k so far. That's not as bad as I expected though. Because I didn't get to isolate the cities this time. I guess being a really rural country just causes you to not lose as many people in general. Sponsor mobile arts. I don't think there's laws I really want to change right now though. So we've got no censorship on already, for one. Favor the ruler by tradition, don't really care. Like what unless I'm wanting to change monogamous marriage to polygamy so that Magnus's heir is gonna have shit tons of kids. Don't think I really care. Kinda just wanna let this parliament pass. Civil society wouldn't be bad. Okay. There we go. Polygamy is being enacted just for fun, as you all are saying. Yep. General retires. Oh well. There's no one good to have converting people anymore. Appease the masses by hunting for a cause, sure. Life in Oslo, don't care about that. Mormon Norway, yeah, I guess. In some ways, sure. Wharf completed. How bad did they get damaged? That ship really got fucked up. Oh yeah, that is a button, isn't it? There's a button for higher recording. 18 legitimacy. Oh. Ah. 18 legitimacy. I'm already hemorrhaging it so much. At least my stability, like my stability is okay now, so I can afford to start using my actually good character for converting pops too now. So there's that at least. Locations depopulating. It's still spreading to some places. The Mendinka Norse slaves. Sheesh. I'm almost a positive. I think I want to swap on Odin as the patron god for research and literacy now. Hard to tell exactly how many people they lost, because they're not going to show up on the list. because this is a pretty vague number. I forget how many they start with, but they start with like, I don't know, like 700k or something. I don't know. But they're also colonizing more stuff. Yeah. They did lose quite a few though, to the point where their levies dropped down to 6.7k. So yet again, we're a lot closer. Burn the ship. And we have an artist. Our kingdom's position against censorship has allowed many lesser artists to experiment more and push the boundaries of art. As a result, one of many novice, nondescript artists today has become a recognizable name. Huh. Okay. Why is he in Stockholm, though? God damn it, they're trying to build a toll gate. Stop it, nobles! Local shrine. No, build stuff that's actually useful. They're all building the guild halls and stuff. Oh, now I'm gonna lose even more stability from Parliament. Whoops. Yeah, now my whole country's gotta replace all the lost, all the lost laborers. The wheat in Oslo has no workers. The mason. Very slowly every month. Every month it's like you get a couple new slaves showing up in Oslo to help fill in the wheat, and then they get immediately converted and then promote. So there's always just a couple at the just filing in. This is very funny. Yeah. They show up, they immediately get religiously converted and then promote the peasants or laborers. That's but on that subject, yeah, I think that's enough focused religious conversion on Akershus. Let's go to the other. Actually, no, not that either. I need to do Sortrondelag, because that is another big chunk of the population up here in Nidaros. Corrupt advisor, oh my fucking god. Fergus, stop. I think I think I need to just I need to force this man to retire. I think he's the only I can't lose 10 legitimacy again. Biased advice is still advice. Fine. God, he's been so troublesome. Lots of peasant promotion. Jeez. I'll lose some legitimacy, lose some prestige, get legitimacy. Yes, please. Right. Still spending all that say all those sailors to repair shit, and no one's becoming employed on the wharfs. Cause still gotta work on promoting more burgers to replace the lost ones. Yeesh. Peasant levy finally? Yeah. Could start upgrading the wool. No pop promotion going on here yet anyway. We could definitely use upgrading the stone. It's already the center of masonry production in Ponsberg. Orkney is the only vassal that's disloyal now that I've improved relations bigly with the other vassals. And they probably, I'm willing to guess, have converted their population. Yep. They are Norse Pagan now. Holy shit, what happened? How did Scotland become Northumberland? And then they returned Lancaster into a fiefdom? What? 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 And they're allied to England. What? What? That is a screenshot for sure. You were right on that. Tar pits and clay pits. Those would be good in Bragarnes, because Bragarnes is a place that has a decent pop size, while also being right next to Oslo. The peasants a little more unhappy. I mean, I could build them in Oslo too, but they'd have less. Well, it's tar. I can build a little bit in Oslo, because like the tar kiln, it would be super profitable. So even though it wouldn't have the efficiency, because you need wood for that, and there's no wood in the Oslo market, but there is wood here. Building it in Oslo, where I've got humongous control, as opposed to Bragarnes, which is less. But Scotland turning into Northumberland is a real... That's a twist. God, there's so much pop promotion in Oslo. We are gonna start running out of pops in Oslo. Why is everyone moving here? Huh. Let me pause and make sure I can see who moved. Nobles, clerics, yeah. Don't have freedom of mobility for the common people. Yeah, wood is still cheap. But the, yeah, clay Clay pits, I don't mind. Yeah, that can go in like Brigarinus because that's not as extremely profitable, but I still need it. So I want it to be in a place that gives production efficiency to it. Yes, employ up the wharfs, please. Please employ up the wharf. Oh, and now it's like excellent minister. Fucking Fergus. Just encourage his efforts. What a meme lord Fergus from Nidaros is. And the only other character in the court, Halfdan Mathiasen. Sheesh. He's gonna die soon too. Oh, Leonor de Borgona. The Suderhainmatans are married into the Borgona dynasty. Oh. Try to colonize the one part of Scandinavia that you can colonize. It costs a lot of money to do that. There's only so much benefit I get to it, and I'm not in a race exactly against Sweden for a long time to do that. Like, it's like 14 ducats to do it, and to start doing it, and it's like, what do I get out of colonizing those couple locations in Finnmark? Well, I 2 wild game locations that aren't even in my market. That's what I get out of that. So I'm not exactly in a rush to do that when I haven't exactly met my basic needs of having an actually functioning navy in my home port and building basic construction goods. Slaves died from disease. Slave removed as part of the slave trade. Slaves were liberated. Slaves died of disease. Yeah. Swedish Norse laborers. These goddamn Swedes. There's Danes too. Goddamn them. Keeps you move in a couple. Yeah, there's Mustaravi Jews. They move in, but then they get converted to Norse, and then they get liberated and become just actual employed laborer pops, and then they get assimilated. No laborers employed. Tar kiln, still super profitable. Is it not employed? Yeah, it's not employed yet, that's why. This one, oh my god, now Fergus is spending dubiously. Oh my goodness. This guy. Need charcoal. Yeah. Charcoal and then clay. Yet again. Turn a blind eye. More development here and there. Just trickle in more development. I should be having Fergus be the one converting the religion in his homeland. Which would be, because it's very, very ironic that way. If he was the one converting the religion in his own city to a religion he doesn't follow. Yeah, this has been a very different experience so far in the buildings that I've been creating. The strategies I've been taking, which is kind of interesting. Oh, finally they've repaired the boat. You could start spreading maritime presence. And soon TM will be able to start making another boat. Wonderful. Come on, employ up. Please, employ. There's no one working these buildings. There's Andalusi Norse slaves. Oh, Andalusi. Jeez. That is not a culture I expected to be seeing here. Alright, Oslo. What's next? Fund farming estates. Yes, please. I will just happily take a couple free sturdy grains and livestock upgrades. Stavanger family. Okay. I won't complain. Divine revelations. Fine. Ignore the foolishness for legitimacy that doesn't matter. Still no laborers employed. Come on. Tarkeln would turn a loss, Norway will pay for it. Yeah, but it's not employing. Okay, suddenly it flips over to being a lot of laborers. It's like not enough laborers to fill in. I get that, but they're not. I don't know. Game's being weird. Oh, that was in Brigarnis, so even more laborers are needed to employ. Oh dear. Those poor peasants are gonna be pushed to the brink. Unless next month kicks in. No, it didn't actually pull any slaves in. I need to check what the what is even the. Oh, I am paying for, in fact, buying slaves from Foss. And Morocco is also paying to do it. Castile is sending me slaves. What the hell? How does that even work? Is there a slave market in this? Yeah, there was a slave market in Malaga. So Castile conquered Malaga, and because Malaga already had a slave market, and it's a culture that's unaccepted with a religion that's unaccepted, that means that Castile is turning the Andalusi into slaves and then selling them to me. Christ. Tarkeln's still very profitable. Also really should be starting to make some of those burger buildings that are very... Why can't I make hollow glass sets? No, I can't. It's just that I have one. I think it's time I start making some, at least age rebuilding. Yeah, I'll make two. Gotta get the actual big income buildings going. Still need to get more tar, but it's taking an eternity to promote these laborers, and there's already plenty of excess burgers chilling. So now this is the real argument for war. This is why. Wait, they changed back to Scotland. What? How did this happen? I'll take another screenshot. What? Oh, they're the Archduchy of Austria. Huh. Well, good for them. Catholic what? Oh no. I was spooked for a second there that this place that I don't own has got a ton of like Swedes colonizing it or something, and that's why it had so many Catholic pops, but it just starts the game already with a bunch of Catholic Norwegians. But seeing as Sweden is getting closer and closer, I'm starting to think it would be wise to colonize that part of Scandinavia. After all, not the Finnmark one, but the Nordland area, Norge. Commoners getting uppity. Enforce authority. Fuck them, commoners. There's only a couple. Yeah, there's only those 2 locations to actually colonize, but I'd rather have it than Sweden, even though it's shitty. Tons. Just gives a little bit. Has 10% capacity due to the wharf now. Yay! Very different from the last time, where all of Norway was just different cultures and religions, but this time it's all becoming Norse and Norwegian, with just some Mandinka, because there's decent chunks of Mandinka culture from the slaves that can't get gotten rid of so quickly. So just a ton of there's so many. It's like Mandinka Norse peasants, House of Norse peasants, Musterhavi Norse peasants, Andalusi Norse peasants. It's a good thing that's I've been focusing on converting religion so much, because it's starting to slow down the Catholic Zealots uprising. Finally have employed up. Okay, still no. Still haven't employed up the Dark Elf. Jeez, I should not have built that so early. Okay, now we'll make the nobles unhappy for the same event. Sheesh. knew it would be so difficult to just get pops to employ. Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. Gotta get to work. It's weirdly easy by comparison to get the burghers employed up. So I'm just gonna keep building jewel smiths for a bit. I guess it's because of the no, I don't know. I was gonna say it's because of the Age of Traditions tech for guilds. Of guilds for possible burghers. Because it causes there to just be a resting amount of burghers that's decently high. But I don't think that's it either. Scotland being allied to England and then fighting alongside England against France in the 100 Years' War is crazy. Also, England killed Brabant and Holland. Okay, France is cooked. England got England has most of the Low Countries. They've got Brittany. 75 people, sure. It's not worth the cost. Not when realistically during this colonization process there's just going to be a ton of people getting imported from North Africa to work the wild game RGO. Lancaster into a fiefdom. Huh. Go forth and colonize, I guess, Sweden. Off they go. Yeah, this is very different from last time. Where the last run through of this, there was so many pops were just slaves. Is now a core. Much better for the benefit of these really crappy places in the mountains long term, where people get brought in. Yeah, pops are getting brought in to work the place, but then they get converted and become actual peasants and laborers that can be, a useful part of society. Oh my goodness. Converted the vast majority of Vestfold now, so it's getting a little redundant. It keeps talking about this. The Navy taking attrition because winter. Yeesh. Finally starting to employ up the tar kiln that way. Spinners Guild. But also, I think it's worth it now to build another traditional galley, because they cost each of these boats in maintenance costs less than one. Cost in maintenance less than one sailor. So yeah. End of the Black Death. Only lost 1,800 this time. But yeah, each boat costs less than one, and I've got 2 monthly, or not quite 2 because Tonsberg has bad control. I don't think I want to be given trade monopolies to the burghers yet. I need more crown power before I do anything like that. Crown power is going to be hard to get my hands on. I would love to be able to attack Scotland, but the fact that England's going to support them makes that just completely unfeasible. They still have that actual navy. Of course, Magnus did not die during the Black Death at any point. You know, that would have been too useful of him. Where's the prestige? Annexation cost, sure. Oh no, the Pops want sugar now. They've discovered sugar's a thing. They're like, give. After the Spinners Guild, start a carpenter. And now the economy is starting to scale. How much is the food cost still? The food cost is still pretty bad. Northland has been colonized. Beautiful. This is a lovely Norwegian location. Yes. Well, actually, there is wool here. I wouldn't mind upgrading the wool RGO to help with the food up here, but no, in reality, I need to just, if I want to fix the whole food cost every like so often being prohibitively expensive, what I should be doing instead is going to like Sandy and I mean actually no, the sturdy grains here are good too. What's the place with the best control for, ironically enough, Brigarnus actually has really good control because it's got a good natural harbor capacity. Might even be worth building a fishing village just to increase the harbor capacity by a little bit as well. Because it's always coming from the sea. That would also increase the maritime presence too. They could start building up Brigarnus as being one of, if not the food producing place. Because like Aidsvol, you know, it produces livestock, but the problem with livestock, well, even though it produces livestock, it's in Arctic climate, Arctic hills no less. So yeah, local food production -10 from that, and the Arctic they get severe winter for -200% food during the winters. Meanwhile, the normal winters on the coast here make them a lot better for that. So Brigarnus and Sandy are the places I should consider developing into big food hubs. 7. Alright, well, sandy it is then, because the wool is more profitable. Well, but it makes less. It's only 5. What's sturdy grain worth, food-wise? Also 5, so never mind. The wool is the one that I'll prioritize on of sandy. Does sandy not have a river? Sandy has the same river, actually. But Sandy goes from Bergernus. That's tough. Such a shame Oslo's not on the river. It's just a little off the river. It's really annoying. So all the proximity is that's going along the coast still has to go over the water. Yeah, I've got a mod for the river map mode, but it doesn't change the checksum. That still works with achievements. It's very handy. Oh, promote state religion. I really like increasing naval infrastructure because it gives you just a ton of little bits of development. But yeah, it's very handy to have that mod. Yes, I'm very pleased that it exists. Because I'm getting closer and closer to the religion being a problem, I think. Ugh, contain professional armies. Ugh. That hurts. That hurts. But I will probably end up taking it in the end. Not getting any events. Probably gonna need to just bite the bullet and contain professional armies among other things. So, right. Plutocratic would get me there then. Or so it seems. I'll have to see if any more events show up. And 6, 5. Democratic movement. So these don't have some. Okay. Missionary zeal. Plus 25%. And then peasants in Borg. Where's Borg? Well, I don't know where Borg is, but we're converting them anyway. Start developing up Sandy. A profitable wood farming village be here? Not really. But, irrigation I definitely want. Local food production plus 5%. Also time to expand the Kongsberg silver mine. They've employed up again. 78% of Sortrondlag. That is good enough for me, so I think I'll be moving on to Stavanger. Agadir has a small enough population, I think I can afford to leave them for now as well and move to Burgos. Oh no, Scania has professional troops. Because yeah, they built, that's right, earlier I saw them building a armory. They're actually developing quite a bit. Out and finish the research things. Let's go for construction speed then. Institution growth. Diplo cap. Oh, of course the definitely want the proximity. There's gotta be some other Renaissance ones that I can reach at the moment that are really important. There's some stab investment ones. Deus Volt over that way. Literacy for clergy. I want the founding cities and towns to be cheaper as well soon, TM. Construction speed even more. Oh, Sandy's finished that. So that means it is time for irrigation. Build a bridge here soon as well. So the money's exploding right now. I don't know what's going on. It's definitely not the food. I also probably want to do, I probably do actually want to build that fishing village in Bregarnis because that will also be more sailors. There's just a lot of little things that it does that is really nice. Trade cap, harbor cap, possible laborers and soldiers. Yeah, just good shit. Sandy's realistically not going to be a good harbor though. I think I could build a market village here to get the passive, because doesn't market villages also give passive laborers? Yeah, that's useful. It's the market village in Sandy, but the fishing ones in Bregarnis. Even though it's at a loss, the things it gives me in addition to that loss are well worth it. Can't wait to have a ruler that's not so useless I actually get some crown power. Wow. I'll give the tribal land rights to start getting some extra prosperity growth. Oslo gets the big sick. Okay. Great. Great. Everyone's moving to Siki for some reason. Moss. Freaking love moss. I will have to turn that into a town at some point. Though I will probably wait for the tech that makes it cheaper to urbanize stuff. Do still have plenty of slave pops, but yeah. Oh, that's a place that's majority oh, plurality Mendinka. That's fun. I may as well. Oh, Finnmark. Why is it so expensive? I may as well get that set up. Increase in commons. Gib. Still trying to expand that. Yeah, that's more sailors for me. More sailors for me, and the harbor capacity is just a little boosted. Not that crazy, but the market village in Sandy. What is it profitable? What are they planning to do? So they're planning to make wooden weaponry. That's fine. I was a little surprised there aren't slave pops showing up in Alta. Kind of assumed that they would. But I guess it's not exactly a priority to fill up the wild game in northern Norway. Why is their satisfaction bad? Just because the clergy are unhappy, I guess? Yeah. Well, there aren't even any clergy pops. Why is that affecting this? Weird. Sweden has some professional troops. Uh-oh. That will make things more difficult than last time. Still filling out new burgers after the sick went through, I guess. Still want to set up the Spinners Guild anyway. But the fact that the food situation is theoretically going to be getting better is nice. Lots of modifiers to that, yeah. I'll take some research speed, sure. Institution growth rate. Make up for my having contained professional armies. Ugh. I can hardly forgive myself. Gonna be one of the last places in Europe to get professional troops. I'm missing quite a few burgers in Oslo, actually. It's not even really going to be worth it to build more in there right now, because it'll take forever to actually make use of it for the moment. But they're employing up nicely with, slaves in Sandy, so I can definitely see the merit in expanding the wool more. it's still very profitable too. And of course, the excess food is just going to help during the winter. Nobility concerned. Okay. Fine. Don't need the Navy tradition right now anyway. It's a natural harbor suitability. It's good in Kongahala. Kongahala. Okay. That's a fun name to say. I am still paying for a colony. What else can I give the commoners? Freedom of movement would be nice, but the nobles would be grumpus. Representation in parliament is fine, I think. Local pop cap. It's very tempting to build more market villages because they're very oh. It's profitable. But that doesn't change the fact that it would still be more profitable to make weaponsmiths. Bladesmiths. I do love my market villages, but at the end of the day, it's usually, almost always more efficient to use different buildings. I don't plan on urbanizing either of these locations. Excellent, Minister. Good. And I'll be tempted to make more fishing villages despite the fish not being especially profitable. Just makes so much fish. Because just to the fact that it increases the there's so many little things it does, it's so good. Theoretically, I want to collapse the price of tools anyway. Stone tool makers, that's what we're doing in Oslo, really. Well, in that case, maybe I should be building up tools in Tonsberg instead. Jesus Christ. I did not expect the Norwegian stone tool industry, but hey, the iron's all up in the north and in Sweden, so what you gonna do? God, Sweden is just... they really just made Sweden really good. Oh, the copper, iron, clay. They probably have tin somewhere too, don't they? I bet they gave Sweden tin. Nah, they didn't. They did, of course, give it the super big 400% copper mine, though. most profitable thing in existence. About to start making another Spinner's Guild. I need more. Need more profit. Sponsor the noble arts. Get fancy person in court. Oh, I love this. I love this because money. Make the nobles mad for money, but I'm doing the thing that makes them support free subjects. There, that will fix it. I want a clay pit for Garrus as well. Tools Guild built. It's not super profitable, but that's not really the point, I guess. Yeah, tools are already really cheap right now. That's good. Make a Spinner's Guild down here too, because they will also... Colony Finmark finished. Good. Got a artist, I guess. No? I don't know. Game's whack. What's the pop cap here? 135k. Eesh. Yeah, the economy is starting to scale now, finally, after the rocky start. The peasants are becoming happy enough I can tax them pretty well. Proximity tech, finally. Very good. Max control go up. Beautiful. The burgers built a lot more roads last time, though. They built a road for me to Hamar. Then I've had to wait, since they haven't been doing that, to build roads on my own. Or I'm waiting to get the government, the parliament issue. That's what it is. Magnus the False still alive and his kids are not getting married. Oh no, I don't like that. Magnus the False. I need a fiber crop. Yeah, fiber crops farm will be useful long term as well. Yeah, so set that up in the queue in Oslo. Just not getting as much maritime presence as I was hoping. So, I guess time for another galley, and I'll probably make another fishing village, despite it being unprofitable. Hello, returned. Hello, returned. I'm dead. I'm so clever. Denmark. Yet again, Denmark attacking the HRE. And then England also attacking the HRE. Oh my god. England no longer allied to Scotland. Scotland's a lot weaker than they were before as well. They still have a big navy, relatively speaking. But if I could catch up to Scotland's navy, I could definitely move in and subjugate them. The HRE is really shit for some reason. I do not know why that is the way that it is. A few concessions. Yeah. Right. Well, the profitability of the spinner's guild's going down because, well, I guess we're just making enough. So more carpentry, because again, Tonsberg is in a place, because fake Greenland is here, so it'll get a little more. There'll just be a little more production efficiency. No, it's more than I thought, actually. Yeah, a little more production efficiency because of the presence of the. Presence of the wood. The Catholic zealots are losing power and influence quite drastically, but there are still some places that really need to be sorted out. The west coast is fine now, but the Ostfold is to be fixed. Actually, even more pressing than that is the far southeast corner, because that's where there's a fort, and that fort not being loyal is a big problem. Just keep upgrading Kongsberg, because they're just gonna keep. We'll grab slaves where needed. And then Tonsberg. Yeah, Tarkiln is still important, but yeah, Oslo is just having so much trouble promoting pops. And now they're starting to get a lot of migration because of that. Yeah. The scriptorium in Tonsberg. Fix the Catholic zealot problem even more. The southeast corner I was talking about is loyal now. That fort isn't going to be trying to flip in a revolt. The mine is still disloyal, though, which is a problem, but we're already trying to convert it. The actual silver mine of Kongsberg. Expanded any? Nope. The only expansion I've done is colonized what little land I'm allowed to. Game's been going on for a few decades, and it's just been economic and religious stuff. Yeah, I doubt that I will be declaring a single war before the end of this session. I'd consider attacking Scotland, because I want, well, because I'd love to long-term try and become the North Sea Empire, but they have too many boats. So I just can't get over there. I'm trying my best to build some fishing villages in locations where I'd actually like fishing villages too, to try and get more sailors so I can build a navy, but just not really looking likely. Like I'm gonna catch up to them before I get banking, because banking is when you can start properly getting some big sailor buildings. So it's just economic scaling and trying to stop the Catholics from revolting, and that's almost been a success. The Catholics are almost completely out of influence, though it's been a very close thing. Oh, gee, I make the peasants mad, and then instantly the Catholic zealots get a bunch more locations added to their places that are supporting them. That'll drop pretty quick, though. Turn a blind eye. Yep. I'll take development when it's being offered. But this does mean I can recruit another traditional galley with that newest fishing village.
More. I need more fishing villages.
More proximity to Burgarnis. Yes. I love the number of villages I built. The fact that there's a market village and a level 2 fishing village means that there's a resting point of like up to 150 soldiers just chilling in Burgarnis, which means realistically, because that's Buskerud. So Buskerud, how many does that mean I'm recruiting? Yeah, 3 footman levies from Buskerud, from levying those soldier pops. Oslo actually gets 44, so footman levies. Fancy schmancy. Super powerful levies, of course. Mind you, as soon as the age of colonialism starts, any of those soldier pops stop being any special levies. They just end up being the same as anyone else. Why are there Portuguese here? Portuguese Catholic slaves. Why are there so many Portuguese Catholic slaves? Morocco conquered some of... Oh my goodness, Morocco created a fiefdom. Does that mean they built a slave market here? Where is it? How are they enslaving all of them? Where are they coming from? Huh? Soldier pop should convert at a much higher rate than levies? What do you mean convert? They should convert at a much higher rate than levies. Convert to what? You mean like they should be raised? Like when you recruit armies, you're raising your levies. Soldier pops should be much more powerful than levies? I assume that's what you mean. Promote state religion one last time. Serfdom movement. And bellicose movement to make it happen. At a much higher rate to levies. I don't know what you mean by... So 100 soldiers... Oh, yeah, that is definitely something that I am confused by with how the game works. It feels very strange that they... Yeah, it's weird to me that the soldier pops, you'll still... Because you get the tech. You get the Age of Traditions tech. Oh, wait, what was that? What was that tech? Oh, good, I am researching intensive agriculture soon. Okay, so you get the Age of Traditions tech of, I think it's in feudalism. Down here. I mean, also, male knights, levies. But, I got seaboard country. Feudal levies. Where the heck is it? Your tribal cavalry. Archers, footmen. Iron working. Okay, yeah, it's not under feudalism. Yeah. It's just traditions, tech thing. So you get footmen, and it unlocks both the recruiting of footmen and footman levy. And the footman levy is just 2% of valid pops will be raised as footman levy. So valid pops, soldiers. So yeah, it's only 2%, which is weird. And yeah, I guess, but it does feel weird when you've got like, yeah. So you've got all these markets and such that give you possible soldiers, laborers, burghers, and then the soldiers that are sitting here, just in Bregarnis, when you raise your armies, the levies you get, it's only 2% of them, so you're literally getting 3 guys. And by the way, the reason that I'm overbuilding, like, because I'm building this stuff even though it's not employed yet, is because it appears like every time you increase the amount of RGOs, and they're profitable RGOs that don't have employment, it means that there's a greater demand for slaves than otherwise, because the game is recognizing that you don't have enough pops to like promote slowly to fill this out. So the game is recognizing that, and the markets are selling more and more stuff, more and more slaves to Sandy to make up for that, which is what I want, because I want more pops in Sandy. So yeah, tons of Portuguese slaves apparently, which is fine. Guess it's so low because the intention is for soldiers to be garrisoned in forts, but there's much more sources. Yeah, it does make sense, because you know. You've got stuff like, yeah, the sergeantry, which employs 500 soldiers, and the castle employs 1,000, and, well, but here's the other thing, because, like, you get garrison size 200. It's like, you employ 1,000 soldiers in the castle, but there's only garrisoning 250, and the sergeantry is employing 500 soldiers, but it's not like all of those guys are the manpower. No. And then it also does feel kind of weird to me that as the game goes on, no joke, on launch, in EU5 on launch, there was no past the age of colonialism. Yeah, there was no age of reformation or absolutism. Levies for nobles. So we're just like noble levies just didn't exist past that point. Just like, yeah, no matter how expensive, no matter how rich they are, they're just not better. Just like, I can see the logic behind that, but I'm glad they changed it so that you can still actually get use out of them. But I will be leaving soon. Yeah, in like 10 minutes I'm leaving. I have a game to be playing with some cousins. We're going to be playing Escape the Backrooms. There was an update for it, and every time that game gets an update, my cousins and I get together and play it. As funny as that is. We're a couple. We're a couple goofy dudes playing a goofy game. There, Sandy is maxed out on that. So now that the wool's maxed out, it's filling in laborers. You can start upgrading the irrigation more for even more food production potentially. But the just upgrading more RGOs is probably more important. Like, I could crank up the sturdy grains here in Brigarnus, and it'll just fill in slaves to replace that. Also, the horses has been filled in now, so I should upgrade that because horses are in demand. I also want to start actually upgrading. Oh, is it already maxed out? Yeah, the marketplace in Oslo's maxed out, but I can still upgrade the market in Tonsberg. Just increase the volume of trades happening. Our fleet is the pride of the nation. Oh my goodness. What a proud navy indeed. Such strength. Oh. Well. Looks like a little earlier than I expected. People are sending out the call on Discord to join. So... I suppose as much fun as I'm having here right now, I guess I'm gonna have to go spend time with my relatives in a second. It's so gross. Sure, I set myself up for next time with, yeah. Change that to converting province here, and that will help a bunch. Yeah. I think I'll be able to stop the rebels from rising up, but even if they do, it won't be a significant occurrence. Portuguese, though. How many Portuguese are there in this country now? It's 1,300. Yeah, we'll get rid of them in time, I guess. Right. Well, with that, I'm going to exit the game. I will be back Probably not streaming later. But I guess I'll be back in Discord later. But most people who see this, it won't be relevant for. Yes. The cousin's call. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time as we continue to do a much better job of managing Norway.